Well, I've been looking forward to this one for a very, very long time. Ever since I started the channel. Without further delay, you're watching Black Genghis Live. Folks, welcome to another edition of Black Genghis Live. I am KJ, aka Black Genghis. I want to show some love to the chat real quick. Shout out to the homie Oz. What's going on with you, dude? That was like a day ago. Earlier this morning. Shout out to Radical Toys. Frank, thanks for joining us. The homie Gas, what's going on? Justin, thanks for joining us, man. My next guest is a very good friend of mine, one of my comrades from A Toy Kind of Mood, specifically from the Terror Drum. There's a customizer extraordinaire. He's one of the homies. Lots of love in the toy community. Listen, it's your boy Tony Romo, aka Tony's Figs. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, brother? Thank you for having me on. We're looking forward to this too, man.
Man, thank you. I was going to like feature all this stuff, and I was like, wait, I just need to have the dude on. Let me like at least just ask to do like, hey man, do you want to come over and play? Yeah,
right.
So I'm seeing this. Shout out to the homie Lawrence. Thanks for joining us last night. Great episode of Toy Kind of Mood where we were casting what we want our picks from GI Joe movies. Don't forget to check out my dude at 6 Thursdays with a friend. Go ahead and go over to that channel. We like to ramble, but we'll be over there right behind y'all. Shout out to GI Bro. What's going on with you? LFG for real. Gun Bunny, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us for real. You're going to like this one for sure. I guarantee. Look, man, listen, usually I say dessert for last, but you know I like my dessert first. So I'm going to direct as many people to your socials as possible.
Thank you.
You know it as Tony's Figs, but how's things going on over at the Facebook, the Facebook?
Oh, the Facebook's going good, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. You know, I'm making sure, well, wait a minute, let me post on mine and sometimes just leave it alone and then see how it goes. And then I'll go into the Joe groups. And then I just found some McFarlane groups and some, you know, the Superpowers and the Street Fighter Jada and all that. But yeah, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, I have my hell, I'll just go ahead and grab it.
Grab them up.
Dude, I gotta open this up. I have my Extreme Sets Dojo, and I have Ryu and a bunch of like other stuff. So I'm looking forward to shooting that review and putting that up as well. Frank Cruz, FC. Man, y'all got me saying it. FC Viper. Stop that. FC Viper. Get my dude's name right.
Frank Cruz.
Sorry about that. All right. And then, of course, IG. So what's going on right over here, man?
The IG's, it's getting there, man. 1,600 followers. You know, I'm trying to blast it, you know, getting in there more. You know, I'm just not all. I mean, my love is GI Joe, but you know as well as the other Toy Kind of Mood dudes do that. It's not just GI Joe. I'm digging into McFarlane Superpowers, McFarlane GC Multiverse. I'm digging into Jada. I'm digging in, you know, I still cherry pick Marvel Legends. So all that's going to get love on the IG.
Dude, I got that Duplico. I asked Lawrence to help me out with this Duplico like a year ago. Mattel Creations finally sent it in. So I had to post it up too. I'm just putting it through its paces. And I had the rest of the Rulers of the Sun, both 3-packs, that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, like that's why I'm saying Black Genghis, because like it's everything under the tent.
Right.
What do you mean see how it is? What's that supposed to mean?
Payne's gonna go on in a little bit, or he's on right now. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's on right now. Oh, don't forget to check out my homie Payne. You guys got choices. I
don't know if he's on right now or if he's gonna go on in an hour. I don't know, but it's gonna happen. It's hard, you know,
dude,
to stay away.
I gotta see. You gotta let me know the reminders on IG when you guys put up those posts. Let me know like what time you guys are going on, man. So, but and also YouTube. How are things going on with that?
YouTube is I'm at the cusp of 600. So it's going pretty well for as long as I've barely, you know, started it. It's almost at 600, and that's very that's amazing to me. I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful and so grateful that people, you know, they're liking this stuff, man. I'll keep doing it because it's fun, you know, when I have the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I like making a bunch of them. Lawrence was telling me, if you make a bunch of them at once, you can schedule them. Like, that's right. Okay, there you go, Aaron. Thank you.
All right. So 7 Central on Wednesdays. Check out Payne's Toy Samples. Both Tony and I have been guests on the channel.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the next time. Let me not speak for Tony. I know that I like Tony's episode. But I don't know like how much time Tony has on his hands.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah,
It's
man.
fun.
You should be like really proud of the channel and how well it's going for how young of a channel it is, man. The work you do is dope. You won't listen to me, you won't believe me, but hopefully you'll listen to everyone else. Shout out to Brick something, man. Thanks for joining us, dude.
What's
Um,
up, Brick?
and I want to talk about like how you approach things, how you try to take what's in your mind's eye and just through elbow grease and sweat equity, turning it into something real. That's dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, no, I appreciate you. It's fun when that those ideas hit and you're looking at your fodder box or you're looking at stuff you can get easy. And you know, I'm always looking for the easy way out. So I don't want any paint rub. Ooh, I can get away with it here and there. And oh my God, thank you so much, Frank. Yeah, and then when it comes to fruition, it comes out and I slam them all over social media to say, you guys, check this out. And then not only look what I did, but look, you can do this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To try to ring people in to like, look, if you like it, you can do it too. This is what I did. And I haven't delved into showing how I do it, but I'm going to
Okay.
show the Dremel, show the tools, show how, maybe paint some parts or stuff and you know, see, answer direct questions of whatever people have. Cause I'm not into, there's a lot of gatekeepers out there and I'm trying
Yeah.
to, I'm not about all that. Whatever you guys want to know, I'm going to show you what I do, how I do it, what I get away with, what I, you know, just so it can go back here, you know.
So let me ask you, how are things going over with the Keep It 100 action figure group?
Man, them guys are holding it down. I haven't been in that group to be honest for a bit because there's so many
Okay.
and work's been busy and I gotta I think Ruben's been keeping tab. What up, Todd?
What up,
But
Todd?
there's yeah, I'm also trying to admin what is it? Action figure customizers.
Okay.
Yeah, GI Joe action figure customizing group, whatever. It's just, you know, me with Ruben and Rick Lopez and
Yeah.
Chris Serta and Armando. So
Yeah. Shout out to Rick Lopez, Doom Days, one of my favorite episodes of 𝔓𝕗. We're trying to work on the new season right now. It is an intense show. The people we are trying to go after are incredibly busy, and but it's worth it once we can get it together and to coalesce. But
yes,
listen,
sir.
I want to go straight into one of your projects that you have going on right now. We know that you're talking about the OG13, not OG13. You did your OG13 to launch the Tony's Figs YouTube channel. You have a long range reconnaissance patrol project based from Royal Robo's work on Instagram
Yes.
and Facebook. We're going to go into all that stuff. But really, I want to touch on this. I'm a big fan of DC. You got me into superpowers years ago. And I had to be careful with this next piece we're talking about because I had to make sure not to buy these and not to make my own. So tell us a little bit about RB Customs, and I'm going to go ahead and navigate to his
Yeah.
Facebook
Oh
page.
man. Once I saw RB Customs on Facebook, I think he's on Instagram too. That's when I was delving into getting, you know, McFarlane got the superpowers coming back and you know what you can do with them. And they're fairly easy. They've only got so much articulation to them. And it's such a nostalgia tug at your heart. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I love these, man. I'm actually, you know, regretting selling my superpowers when I was younger, getting into video games. But now he's coming out with them. You can doctor them up. They take paint well. You can, you know, arms go here and there. And RB Customs is a big inspiration. Look at that, man. He's just the way he makes the faces look and it looks like the capes go in right where they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And the paint is really nice, and he does a great job. And I give it up to him and Mike Marquez, the Cape Master.
Listen, I'm turning this off so I don't end up spending more money.
Dude, it's another rabbit hole. These guys talking about AWOC and Mythic Legions. I'm like, hey, I'm in my own rabbit holes right now. Thanks, GI, bro.
Yeah, man. We're gonna go ahead and dude. I don't know why you're not working for McFarlane Toys, working for Hasbro. Like, get some money, man. Bro.
Because I know, get that money, but I gotta be freelance because they'll let people go quick.
yeah, they will. But maybe get just a little bit of scratch, But listen,
right.
So I'm gonna talk about this. This is your current lineup. So is this Super Friends or Justice League?
Dude, this is my when I used to collect Justice League of America. They look like this, and I'm trying to work with what Todd's giving us, right? He's giving us, sometimes it's wonky, sometimes their height is all over the place. And I doctored, each of them to make, I didn't try to make them all the same height. They're all on their little stands because sometimes they could be hard to stand on their own. Sometimes it's like, wow, these guys, I'm so used to Marvel Legends and GI Joe. They can stand so easy. These guys take a little bit more love to do what you want them to do. And I can go through, each one and let you know what I did to each to get them this way. You know what I mean? So yeah, there you go. Exactly. So yeah, man, they've got, I want my Justice League to look the way I want them to when I was collecting the comic. And plus, if it's got some superpowers loving it and some super friends loving it, I'm all for it. I love the bright colors, the brighter costumes, when I can. But yeah, I finally got Hal Jordan from the Silver Age, mind you.
Yeah.
I still need to do a Bronze Age, but he's all we got right now. But I'm working on making him look like the Bronze Age. I got something cooking for him too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. You
all right.
Also used pieces from the NECA Flash Gordon Aquaman. So tell us about your process when you're scrounging around for the perfect parts. And apparently, like, you're not just keeping it just on that manufacturer, right? It's like whatever it takes. So what's some of the things that you look for, and how do you come across those things?
Right. Whenever I'm trying to look for, okay, my Aquaman. Okay. I realized back in the day, Super Friends, he had black trunks, and I never understood that. I'm like, why would he? That's just his look. That's what they put him in. I love the green from the waist down, so I didn't mess with the black trunks. And then I didn't. This one came. This is the Endless Winter body of Aquaman. So he came with the Triple H head. Who says that? Toy Gaines. Shout out to Toy Gaines. I love that
screaming
guy.
Head. I used that for my Road Pig. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a screaming head, and then there's the Triple H looking head. And I kind of do. I did have some love for the long hair bearded version, but I wanted my pretty boy Aquaman. I wanted him, the Super Friends look, the early JLA days. And when I saw those NECA Defenders of the Earth Flash Gordon figures, I'm like, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the first one to think this, and I'm not the first one to do this. But it's like, if it could be, it just pushed me over the edge. Wow. I think exactly. Hey, I got some books that shows that's not all.
I'm saying Aquaman will handle that if he needs.
He will handle business. Yeah, if this guy could go to the bottom of the ocean and be like, this is nothing. He's got to be bulletproof.
Yeah,
So yeah, the head, I had to doctor it a little bit, Dremel a little. I think I told Bobby, you Dremel it a little bit, it'll fit. Of course, everybody gets the Flash's unmasked head, the Barry Allen head. And it fits perfect. It's really nice for Aquaman too. But I figure this one, the more sculpted facial features for Flash Gordon and the way his hair is, I think it and his blue eyes, it looked really good for Aquaman.
It's more classic, right?
Yeah, more classic. Yeah, shout out to Toy Gaines and Bones the Necro Zoo. They did it before me. And Oh yeah. To me, it just looks like a better Aquaman in my eyes, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to the fallen Flash Gordon. You know, he
Yes, sir.
barely.
Poor Flash. Flash Gordon's down, and that's a great body sculpt, man. I think
Yeah.
that's what they used for that Superman and Batman that came with the aliens or the
Yeah,
Predator.
exactly. And they ended up reusing it for all three of that, like for Phantom, Ming. They used
Ming.
this. They used this sculpt a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
NECA. Yeah.
Yeah, and there you can see the Barry Allen unmasked. Yeah.
All right,
So
man. So when you are trying to get like the perfect lineup, right? We know that some of these can go an arm and a leg, and we're going to touch on that next with the next figure. So when you come across like a barrier or roadblock, no pun intended, it's no Joe puns intended. Where does the impetus come from? Where like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do it this way. Oh yeah, shout out to Justin Booth. Yeah, all those. I recommend all those as well.
hell yeah,
Like,
Justin
so
Bieber
where
did
does the
them all.
impetus come from to do this, right? When you're just saying like, I got this, I know what to do.
Yeah, this I got the idea. I looked at the platinum version, and man, he's going for $90 now, maybe
Yeah,
more.
I'll go ahead and just.
Yeah, dude, he's there. Yeah, he's going. He's getting up there. He looks beautiful. You know, I mean, he looks great. I mean, there's some things I would change still on that guy. You know, because that is just the 0 hour look, but made classic. It's not truly classic. You know, he's not supposed to have, you know, his trunks and boots look like, you know, those Michelin Man,
Yeah.
you know, but it works. I mean, it worked for his 0 hour look, and this is not bad. And it's so expensive. So what I did, I took a page out of Toy Gaines, my boy Toy Gaines' book. He said, hey, if you can't get this, make it happen. Repaint this guy. It'll be a lot cheaper for you. Spend some time. I said, that's right up my alley. Let's go.
Okay.
Got the 0 hour Hawkman, gave him a haircut, painted him up, and I hate yellow, but when you're working with better paints like Vallejo,
Yeah,
and Citadel, and leaving the cheaper paints alone, it'll work with you. It'll help you. And then when you seal that paint with a Krylon acrylic matte, it comes out really nice. And it turned out to be really good. And I didn't get that much paint rub, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And another thing I want to say, I did not know this. Once I started, I learned from Ink Drop Customs.
Okay.
He showed a video of him disassembling a McFarlane figure, and he took apart. I think it's a black and red Nightwing.
Yeah,
and he heated it up or warmed it up. Some people like warm water. I like the heat gun because I can get precise, and I'm used to it.
Yeah,
and I don't want it all wet and trying to dry it off and everything.
Yeah.
So what I did is learn how to take them apart. And McFarlane figures are really nice, really forgiving, and they're really easy to take apart. So it takes that part out of it. They're really easy to. What's up, Vlad?
What's up, Vlad?
They're really easy to take apart.
Yeah,
and to put back together.
Yeah, and so it it definitely emboldened me. There's some things I want to try with McFarlane toys. I put together a quick bash. Commissioner Gordon from the Constantine figure from the Page Punchers Black Adam line, and I added a J.K. Simmons head, so he's Snyderverse Gordon. But just looking at this is like, okay, there's even more I can do with that.
Oh yeah, dude, you can do so much more. And Mad Dog's Customs on Instagram, he's doing a lot more. Let me make Superman look more taller. Let me get the legs from this Batman and that. They're really easy to take apart and put back after you paint. That was right up my alley again, So later on, I can replace his trunks to be solid, but right here it doesn't look that bad. The paint job I did on what he is on the left. That's what all I had to work with. Only thing I wanted to do left and leave him alone is those wings are fine, but that I think there's a Batman Who Laughs Sky Tyrant.
Yes, with the articulated wings.
has articulated wings that go all the way out, like the DCUC, the old school Mattel DCUC Hawkman. They go all the way out, and no, man, that's a no brainer. So I'll be looking for those wings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I would say, especially like if you can avoid paying prices like this, like
Yeah.
set up a dealer alert or Macari or that kind of stuff. You know what to do.
Oh yeah.
You know how to get these, man.
Getting into the bidding wars, and you end up spending the crazy amounts. It's like, I think I can paint some.
I think what you were talking about with this Wonder Woman, for example, there are things that your eye is more trained than mine, because you were pointing out things where I'm like, what? Like you're talking about the boots, how you made the boots connect with
another page out of my boy Toy Gaines. Shout out to Toy Gaines, because I'm like, okay, because I didn't know, and I wanted to. You always have to find out who's done it. Has someone done it yet? Can I go buy? And if I'm gonna get into it, let me see if it's been done. And you find out it's been done, and then you find out you can do it. And yeah, I made her. She's really tall, and I know she's an Amazon, and I know she's supposed to be taller than a lot of men, but in the Justice League, those are some tall dudes anyway. So at least the same. Now I made it the same. Doing that mod from her ankle is you end up with a plus all around, because it makes her a little shorter, and it joins the white line from her boot foot to her boot shin guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that it was
right. I'm like, I can't unsee that. That's like, she looks like she's, tracksuit, and they're already looking like track boots, which is fine. I'm used to the heel, but that's still okay. So yeah, you just Dremel out the hole in there, and I glued a little more. I took that joint and shoved it in there a little more to where it covers the joint. You don't lose articulation. You're just making her a little shorter, and you're making the paint, you're making that line look a little bit more uniform. You know what I mean? So
do you think it's because I feel like it was like yours on the left, and then maybe they just wanted to give her more height and they didn't mind the gap, I guess.
Yeah. The one on the right is the regular release. See how she's the regular version. She has the silver bracelets, the darker shorts.
Right. And you actually got the platinum.
Yeah, you remember? I got you got the chase, bro. And I said, I do. I can flip her. She's worth more money, but I like that paint scheme. That's the superpowers paint scheme. I said, she's mine. I'm keeping her. So I'm gonna make her the way I want her. You know what I mean? So
is that why you started this project? Because you were able to get that platinum chase, and then you're like, well, I might as well do the rest.
Yes. I who did I get it from? I think GameStop sent me the platinum. And I'm like, this isn't. It took me a bit. I'm like, wait a minute. How come these guys are darker shorts and candy apple red, top, and mine's the plain one in light blue? And then that's when you said, and you confirmed it, that's the chase, my boy. I'm like, oh shit. But then this one, having that one, I'm like, okay, I got the brighter colors one. Here we go with superpowers. What else can I get? And I had you as the man behind the screen looking up shit for me. I'm like, oh, I've enabled you so much. You've turned around and enabled me. And in a short time, with not breaking the bank too much, the original 7 is mine now. You know what I mean? And I made them all the way I wanted to. I doctored Superman as well. Superman was another kit bash.
We'll touch on that too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Todd C says GameStop recognized Tony Biggs and blessed him.
They did. They did, man. They did.
And I just want to touch on Justin's real quick. Any suited figure you can find, you can make a good John Wick. There are custom head sculpts all over. Mine's comes from, I think mine's called the Uncle, is what mine is.
Yes.
So.
Good question for KJ.
Yeah. But basically, you can any suited figure. You can get a John Wick figure from Diamond Select if you want 7-inch, and then you can get third-party custom head sculpts, because the Diamond Select head sculpt is so-so, if I'm being honest. but you can still use that base figure. With McFarlane, there were cheap Cyberpunk 2077 figures that were suited, kind of futuristic, so you may have to like finagle it a little bit. I don't know what 7-inch McFarlane figures have suits like that. Maybe Fortnite or something like that.
Maybe, but
Like
that
the
one
wall
is
cards.
nice. That one, that head sculpt is nice. The one you got, yeah.
Yeah. Did a really good job. So I'm a fan of this one. And I whenever I have like gridiron stuff, like I'm gonna be showing off more gridiron stuff for reviews on the channel, and I'll be using this John Wick to model them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Come on now. Shout out to JLS Comics. Thanks for joining us, man. Let's go ahead and move on a little bit. You already mentioned them. Suits. So tell us what's going on with this one. Yeah.
There's a lot of McFarlane collectors and customizers out there that agree with me. And some of them, he's fine the way he is. I know that. You don't have to change him. It's good. But for me, in my eyes, the smiley Superman, they trying to pass him off as classic. He is just not. Let him be smiley, fine. He's a little, he's not too beefy. The S shield is beautiful, but those are not the classic shorts. Those are Brandon Routh Superman Returns shorts. He needs the belt loops like the one in the middle. The one in the middle is the one I was playing around with and mashed him up that way, and I gave him the shorts from the Atomic Skull 2-pack that's on the right. And I just, and then looking at him, I'm like, that they're trying to say that's Christopher Reeve blue, but that is way too light for me.
Yeah.
It's just way too light. It looks
that's
cool.
Dean Cain, Adventures of Lois and Clark blue.
I thought Dean Cain was really dark blue.
It was really dark. I just wanted to make the reference. Just as a joke.
Yeah. This is really like baby blue, San Diego Chargers baby blue. And
so
I'm like,
when you ended up making the changes, did you ended up doing like a paint down? Is this painted?
Not at all. This has nothing to do with the smiley Superman. This idea I got from 5 POA reviews. He's great at these, and this was actually if he does, he does. But he has the Superman shield as a belt buckle, and that's not my suits. And with this one, he's actually the Hush Superman arms, torso, and legs, because they had bigger bulk and he was a little taller with them, and his arms are bigger. Plus, I wanted the double jointed elbows. The Atomic Skull 2-pack Superman had single jointed. I'm like, no, everybody's gonna have double jointed butt Superman. No, why? So then, and the only parts I used from the Atomic Skull 2-pack Superman are his chest, cape, and head. And it all fit together. I mean, if you try to look closely, the chest from the Atomic Skull 2-pack is a little lighter in paint, and then the rest of them is darker, but you can't, it doesn't really, the shade differentiation to my eyes is so minute. It looks great. See how skinny his legs are on the right? It's just, that's supposed to be Superman. Like, not in my eyes, not in my world, And then I really do like the S shield in the middle, because the one on the right is like Alex Ross, big ass.
And I prefer that, but I see what you're getting at.
Right. I like the one in the middle, but I went with the big shield. It grew on me. The Alex Ross's S, the big, it's all across his chest, so. And the cape came with it. It's a better shaped cape. I just wish it had I wish it had the yellow S shield on the back, but I'm gonna do that with good old Bad Mother Customs.
So you're still not done with your Superman then, right?
No, to me, he just needs the decal on the back. I really like the yellow S shield on the back of the cape. He needs that.
Okay. And just touching on a couple of things. We were talking about the Brandon Ruth Superman gas. Had talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, that was right.
But like this is a big Superman fan. I was surprised how much that Page Punchers figure in the DC Classic had in common with the Brandon Ruth one. So, for example, this is where you can see like that S, and this was the first one to really have like a dimensionalized S,
smaller,
like with the bridge in it, and the S also repeated on the belt. We see that again here.
He had little briefs.
Really good look at it. Yeah.
He had the littler shorts, and it looked good. But he had his red was so dark maroon. You know
yeah, I mean? They were trying too hard to like really change it up. I feel like Man of Steel, they got their color palette right. You know, like you're gonna be making a darker palette Superman. You have to really pay attention to the balance of the reds and the blues.
Right.
So yeah. So pretty much you're still yeah, I see what you did here. Like you took the legs. Did you have to do any repainting when you were pretty much
to my Superman? I totally left the smiley Superman out of it and just did a straight 5 POA reviews kit bash. His all I used is Hush's arms, legs, torso, abdomen, and then used the Atomic Skull 2-pack's chest, cape, and head, and it made him stand. His chin is a little taller, a little higher than Wonder Woman. She's got her shoulders are high. She's a tall girl.
All right. So the blues ended up matching?
The blues did not match totally. The chest around the S is a little lighter shade, but it didn't really. Once I put it together, it was like you can't even tell. So yeah, I did no paint job in that one. That's whatsoever. Straight up kit bash. Look at that.
All right, man. Well, there you have it. You want the perfect Superman? It's not far away.
It's not far away. Yeah. Thank you, GI bro. And you always got to look at their. I wanted to look at their shoulders, where they're at, where their jawline hits, who's tall, and Batman is a little bit in the back. Sometimes the perspective messes with you, So it's like he's actually as tall as Superman and Wonder Woman, and Aquaman's right there, and Barry is a little shorter, which he should be.
Yeah. All of those calories he's burning messes with his metabolism. All right. Well, we're reaching a halfway point, and I know this next portion was really, really dear to you. So I want to give a shout out really quick to someone who's inspired us both, and that's Ronin Doodles. So tell us more about him and how this influenced your next project that we've been seeing on Tony's Figs YouTube.
Definitely. Ronin Doodles, that's my boy Roel Robles. He's on Instagram too. He did a Digibash. That's something that Will Stone is really good at.
Will Stone art,
and yourself.
Thank you very much.
You've messed with that a lot too. Like, wow, let me get in that. What's that? What program is that? Photoshop or whatever you guys are using. And man, once he did those, I'm like, this is the straight up blueprint of what I need to do, or what pieces I need to get to actually make. I said, why not make the LRRP team? I loved that history, especially with Lonzo and Snake Eyes and Tommy.
Oh yeah.
And let's bring to life. Why not bring to life Wade Collins and Ramon Escobedo and Dickie Saperstein? Let's go for it,
So let me go straight to the source. Like all this stuff is good. So whenever y'all get a chance, go to Ronin 8180. Check my dude out. Follow, subscribe. The dude puts in fantastic work. Look at this once a man digital render he did. There's like basically that HMS people are getting. It's essentially a pre-paint for this MMS. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So
I already made a hawk that looks just like that without even looking at Ronin's art.
I know you did.
I did
really good stuff here. Him giving love to Larry Hama is like
Hama
Hasbro needs to make a Larry Hama action figure.
Oh man, come on.
For Classified. But this is pretty much where I'm going to keep going because he started it in stages. So it really started off with this, right?
Yes, I think it started off with the three survivors, you know, and look, I mean, I pieced out and I knew what figure to get that he got those from to make that, and I tried to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not the only one. I think some other guys followed suit too, but I said, I have to do that. He's giving you everything in this digibashes he's creating. And it was and there's rest in peace, you know. And
Dude,
his Dickie is really different
yeah.
than Dickie, what Dickie's supposed to be. So I made mine comic book
Closer to the
Dickie.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you called it, man. 21 weeks ago, you're like, thank you. I'm doing the whole squad now. And you meant that shit. I'm gonna like you just earned a like from me. That's what
Yeah.
So
I had to.
once again, we're gonna touch on all of these because
Yeah.
in doing the research for this, like I was really touched by how deep the lore of Snake Eyes origin in that LRRP squad was, and just how much it meant to that Marvel run. Because so much of what GI Joe is sort of came from that moment, in a sense.
Oh yeah, big time, man. GI Joe number 26, GI Joe number 43, where Wade takes Stalker and Snake Eyes hostage at the Vietnam Memorial. It's like then he tells the story, and then man, it's like okay, these guys need to get some love because those was a crazy story and awesome covers. That GI Joe number 40 is Death with an M60. Yeah,
man. Well, look, man, let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. I think you outdone yourself with this. I always say that the way that you approach these customs and these figures, it looks just like Hasbro made these.
Thank you.
And it's exemplary work. So, what does it mean to you having a finished squad and also using this with that first phase of Tony's Figs YouTube and the response that's been getting online?
Yeah, with this being the first phase, and everybody pretty much, gave me the thumbs up on that. That they liked the idea, they liked it, and as soon as I put it up there and finished everybody, I'm like, okay, well then now if I'm doing a channel, I'm searching for content, and I'm man, there's gonna be content coming like crazy, and these ones, I said, you know what? There's 6 members, so let me do 6 videos and give everyone their shine and space them out. A lot of input from you and Larry Punk with Toys, and say, hey, you can make try to do, if you have time, make some videos in a row and then schedule them out, and see them, which ones you'll see which ones people like most, and it's cool because some people are gonna like this one more than that one, and that's fine. It's really cool. They're all different, and I tried to make them like Roel just gave a great blueprint on what to use and what I would need to figure out how to make these guys, and it was a chore, man. It was a chore, but it was so much fun doing it.
Yeah. Like already, if I just want to take a look at like contrast and compare, it's like straight from the render, bro.
I tried, dude, and a lot went in. I don't know how I was gonna pull it off, because if I don't get a Snake Eyes head with that boonie, what am I gonna do? And then my buddy, shout out to Brandon Albert on Facebook. He's a Facebook buddy from the Marvel Legends days. He's doing some dabbling in 3D printing, and he made Snake Eyes's Vietnam look head, even down to the picture in his hat. I just haven't painted his sister on it yet. And shout out to Ray Murphy. He did it, and he showed me how it would be easy to do. And so I say, okay, I've got Snake Eyes' head now. He made me a mold. So and Tommy, you can get the Shang-Chi. I already have a custom Stalker head, and what can I do for the rest of them?
Yeah, and
And
that was from Baron Mordo from Doctor
Baron,
Strange, right?
Carl, yeah, Carl Mordo
Carl
from
Mordo.
MCU. Like I mean, yeah, dude. So made him younger. Just painted him a mustache on. Stalker's forever mustache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, just tried to make a good Escobedo, and I felt kind of sacrilegious for when I made Dickie, because his his glasses I took off of Stan Lee's figure.
I don't think Stan Lee would mind, man. You can always put
Oh
it
no,
back.
he's probably hopefully he's looking down on it like, there you go, Marvel baby. So
All right.
anyway,
I just want to say once again, the attention to detail is like, we're just going to contrast and compare real quick. I mean, like, yeah. Like, shout out to the Stalker set, one of my favorite sets from Gridiron. And Mark made that set following the template from the comic book, essentially, right?
exactly, because Raymond was the radio man, and then when he got Kiwi, when he died, and Lonzo got the radio. I mean, and then that's where you get Gridiron's pack from, where there's Lonzo with the radio now. We know why, because Raymond fell in battle. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what would happen. The next man picked it up, and the senior man in this instance picked it up. Lonzo could have had someone else pick it up. Tommy grabbed the radio. He did it. He grabbed it.
There's so much storytelling that's going on in those designs and with these characters. The origin of Snake Eyes.
Exactly. And then what I wanted to do was that Roel gave them all the leg pouches, the leg holsters. Vietnam, they didn't really use those. What if they had a pistol, it was on their belt. If they had a pouch, it was on their belt or in their pack. So I did a version where they all have their leg gear, their thigh holster gear, and they look really good. But then I took them off, and I felt like, hey, Snake Eyes on the left, that's what he would have looked like in Vietnam. And I had some guys tell me, hey, I showed my father this, and he said, that's what I wore in Vietnam in '69. I'm like,
man,
oh my God. Just knowing that and just hearing that and getting that feedback, it's like, if the guys that were involved in that war and we're over there said, give you props or give you praise, that's all my job's done, man. It's very, very fulfilling. Wow. It's a good thing.
I feel like your attention to detail is better than some people in the professional industry. I mean that sincerely. When I talk to people like Dennis Chan, who goes by Always Bumping, Fred Axon, Boss Fight, or others that I'm privileged to be able to talk to on a one-to-one basis, and even just as a fan or appreciation of their work, you're right up there with them. And
thanks so much, KJ.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Mr. Roper.
Thanks to Mr. Roper, and thanks to you, Tony. I still remember just giving you props like year one of Toy Kind of Mood, and one thing led to another, led to 𝔗𝕗𝕗. You've been rocking with us. It's hard to think of a time where we were Toy Kind of Mood without you, And
you were. And you were. I was watching. You guys were in the groups. I was just thinking the other day, how did me and Travis meet? How did that happen? I remember making a display, and you and Travis were doing the show, and then it was my torpedo custom that you were talking about. Yeah. I was like, they just say my name? What the hell?
Shout out to Zen. Hey, thank you so much. And great job hosting yesterday's episode, Toy Kind of Mood. Everybody, please go check that out. It's great having you with us, man, for real. And
awesome,
we really appreciate you, dude. Shout out to the homie Kim Poe.
What's up, Dog?
one of the best toy tubers on the planet. Be
It's
sure
so
to like and
awesome.
subscribe. Just even if you don't have time to watch, just play it on the background. Play it on the background and catch it. You guys,
His history videos are awesome. Oh my god,
fantastic. I definitely
incredible.
took a page or two for like what I want to do with Black English YouTube from Lawrence. Thanks, man. I'm really appreciate these dudes. Wait till you see this. Tommy Arashikage. You went in on this one. You put your foot in this one. That's how we say in the South. So tell us what this figure right here meant to you about getting this right and having his LRRP Nam era represented in figure form.
Yeah, getting Tommy and knowing his all right, nice, Ken.
Yeah,
That's
we'll be there.
Getting him right, looking at him in here, and then knowing what I already had in the fodder box or what I could use or what I could get my hands on was easy, and it was kind of different because I wanted to do it exactly like Roel did it, but at the time I couldn't, and I wanted to get them done because I had more parts than I thought, so what I used here, he's out back from the waist down. Outback has the great camo and boots, and he's rock and roll chest. Rock and roll's a bigger dude, and but he had like the t-shirt look, and that's what Tommy has on the left. And then I didn't want, I think Outback's arms are big, but they're a little smaller than rock and rolls, so I use those. And the Foosh's arm packs with those armbands,
fit the armbands.
Yeah, for that's what he carried over in his ninja attire with Cobra.
Yeah.
He always had his arm wraps, and he uses those to bandage up Snake Eyes when he gets shot. So one of them's covering the Arashikage symbol, and then one of them's on his other arm, and then instead of using the Cobra officer's web gear on his chest, it wouldn't fit on Rock and Roll's big chest, right? I said, yeah, well, how many, I got so many, I got lucky and got a few Tiger Force Outbacks from Ross, and he had great gear, great stuff for this project. And his belt and those big pouches, that's what he had in the comic, and then that's what Shang-Chi Roel used it. So, and I had another one. Thanks, Ken. And painted up his headband and used Gridiron's I think Gridiron's spirit loadout. He's got the Alice pack with arrows and his bow, and I gave him a Car 15 to use. That's what they use on the LRRP team, and I just used Outback's web gear, and that did it. And then as soon as I got the 60th anniversary
Action Soldier,
Action Soldier and the Sailor, or they had the dog tags, and in the comic book and Roel's artwork, you could see prominently, you could see his dog tags in the comic book and here. It's like him and Raymond wore the same thing. They had the t-shirts on, and that really worked well for both of them. I said, those guys are getting the dog tags. Sorry, Soldier and Sailor. So they needed to have it. Yeah. So that and then I didn't, for a long time. There you go. I didn't have the Vietnam towel around Tommy's neck, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sculpt it. I could have, but then I found that what's his name? It's the MCU Star-Lord, the one with the big jacket. He's got a long scarf. All I did was cut it and paint it OD green and throw it around Tommy's neck, and it was easy business right there.
Dude, it's perfect. It's a perfect translation, right? And it's like, even with the variances between the render and the figure you made, I mean, it's crazy looking at it like this. It's like, I want Hasbro to have released this render. I want Hasbro to have released this figure.
I want them to so bad. Like, do the LRRP team, man. If you make it This one you can make your hostage packs that you don't like. Make 3 of them.
Yeah, 2 3-packs. You know, and
Yeah,
it's a great way to pay tribute. Transformers is doing comic book figures, right? They
Yeah.
have the Shockwave, they have the Grimlock. It'd be great to see Classified doing from different do the Marvel ARAH, do
Yeah.
DDP, right? The Skybound figures, like, go nuts.
With
We're here.
Exactly. With your retro line, go back and I mean they're kind of doing it now,
Yeah, with
but
the
they haven't
cards.
touched on they haven't been doing the OG-13, but you can what they're giving you right now, you can that's how I made my OG-13. So,
yeah.
You know.
Let's go ahead and talk about the other homies, man. It's dark stuff here, man. Like
Dark, it so is. It's straight out of the mind of Larry Hama, and props to him. So glad he made it back from that war and the stories he told after. And regarding these guys, it's just you know he went through some stuff and he told you the backstory. I try to go through the history of each of them in my videos to just let you in on the tragedy that befell those 3. It's just it's crazy. So yeah, man, they were a lot of fun to make.
I think that's one of the lasting qualities of GI Joe, that as a comic book reader, it didn't talk down to you as a kid, and it was doing things in that comic book that no one respected out of what was, you know, a toy IP commercial. Like, it got no respect for the longest time because people didn't think anything of it, which gave Larry full license to do the things that they were doing.
I'm so glad they did, because reading those at the age I was, it just you're into. I got into it so much, it improves your vocabulary, because at the time you're, well, what is this word? What is that word? What does this mean? And you look it up. Okay, that's helping. Those comic books helped me learn how to read better. So when I was called on in grammar school to read, everybody's like, "Whoa!" I'm just reading, and I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I did like the spotlight a little bit, but I got a little ahead of myself. You know, when other people would read and mess up a word, I would pronounce, I would say it for them. I was that kid. And I wouldn't do it to be a jerk. I want to help them, and that if that helped them, well, hell yeah, you know. So
yeah,
those comics.
Yeah, by not talking down to us, it elevated your reading level.
Oh, it did, and then I just wanted to read more and more and more and more. Reading. Oh, crazy.
Well, Kiwi GI, if you stay with Tony's socials, you're gonna learn a lot, man. Just put it that way. Jason Ness was saying way more into the comics than the cartoons. Awesome stories. Dude, one of my favorite episodes of 𝔗𝕗𝕗, we kick it with Doom Days, and we have a big Mike Zeck retrospective. Go to Toy Kind of Mood on YouTube. Check out that Doom Days episode of 𝔗𝕗𝕗. We just holler at Mike Zeck in the.
I love Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck, Punisher. It's all over my personal Facebook page. I got it. Mike Zeck, black and white art in there. Oh man, Mike Zeck's awesome.
Look, man, you're one of the real ones, right? And I want to go ahead and talk some more. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. And
nice.
Saying, dude, so many GI Joe collaborations. We're already seeing it right now with Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Universe, Stranger Things, Transformers. Like, yeah, we can get some GI Joe Punisher stuff, GI Joe Marvel stuff in there. But definitely. Listen, let me go ahead. Let's get it back to this. Yes. Dude, Michael Golden. Yeah.
Yes, Michael Golden.
Great covers too.
Insane.
That's why I love the community, man. But I just want to, once again, I'm respectful at everyone's time because Lawrence's show is about to start very soon.
Right.
But yeah, Raymond Escobedo.
Yeah.
Once again, he was this close to getting back. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. His story is insane. It's so tragic. It's so, these guys, that must have been real people, man. Because
exactly. Yeah,
this happened. This happened, and I tried to make Raymond exactly like Roel did it, and it came out, almost to the T. Except I don't think I put the knife on his left shoulder strap, But the rest, yeah, there's his radio, there's his car 15. I mean, I cut a Tony Stark head and put the bandana from Cobra Island Roadblock on it. And yeah, I used mostly Grunt's torso, Lieutenant
Okay.
Falcon arms, and Outback legs, and there you go, man. There's the closest Raymond as I can get. I think I did a custom for somebody that they wanted me to use the see what Tunnel Rat, the Night Force Tunnel Rat would look like, because he has the bandana and everything. And I painted a mustache on that Tunnel Rat, and it came out pretty cool.
Okay.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, he has it. Yeah.
All right. And once again, you strayed a little bit from this next one because you wanted more of the comic book look and not what
Exactly.
Rowell ended up doing.
Exactly. I wanted to give. I paid some homage to Roells, but in the comic, Dickie had camo pants too, and there you go with Outback. And then what I had at the time was a breaker torso and shoulders, and I used I think I used Duke's arms because he's got his arms were 3/4 rolled up. They weren't rolled up all the way to the bicep. They were just rolled up to the forearm.
Okay.
And I used I think it's a shockwave vest because he needed a grenadier vest. And I said, well, this has got a lot of pockets on it. Let me just paint this OD green and hook it up. That's Grunt's head with Stanley's glasses. And then I think I used what's his name? Muldoon from Jurassic Park. His hat.
The Amber collection, yeah.
Yeah, his hat. And that's how Dickie put the front end up and let the rain go off the side and hooked him up with a Alice pack from Gridiron. His carbine is behind him like it was in the book. And there's his M79 grenade launcher from good old Gridiron.
Dude, I would buy both of these 3-packs. I would buy both 3-packs.
I would.
And they could have the cover art and everything. And we'll touch on the comic books in just a little bit.
Because
once again, this wasn't just a toy commercial.
Right.
You know? Like, yeah.
Exactly. You know, yeah, it's just I dug what Rolla did, but I said I gotta make him look like the comic. If I'm gonna do these guys right from the comic book, Dickie's gotta look right as well.
Yeah. You haven't GI Bro says take my money. I've been telling him that for years. I've been telling Tony to take my money for years. He's but this next one, you haven't released a video for Wade Collins yet. So if there's things that you want to keep close to the chest, let me know and we can move on.
No, you can it's fine. It's because the meat and potatoes, he was an easy custom. He's good. I could talk about him now. And then when you see his videos coming out the 27th. So that's this Saturday. Yeah. I think it's this Saturday.
I'll make some noise.
Yeah. I tried to keep him as close to the comic and close to Roells as I could, using what I had. And I really like the way Wade came out because he's got some tragedy and he's got a light at the end of the tunnel where he comes out on top, and I guess we're finding out what happens to him in the new wave of comics right now. But with him, he was a little unfinished. I didn't take Brick, old guy here who had access to his older brother. Yes, right. Oh, thank you so much, Brick. Awesome, dude. Yeah, he is like again Outback legs, the waist down. Duke pouches belt, and with Lieutenant Falcon's upper torso, the Cobra officer's web gear fit on him really well. That's what Roel used. Tried to make it look just like that. I might go back and take the camo paint off the torso because it's not on his arms, as you can see. But you know, in Vietnam, they sometimes they made their own gear. You know, so it didn't look too bad. Taking the paint off Dusty's face and using Dusty as Wade Collins. And a ball cap from Gridiron came in handy. And another Alice pack, another carbine 15. And I I think I didn't have any more leftover bare hands for him, so I just went ahead and used Breaker's gloved hands, and it didn't look too bad.
Okay.
So, you
Yeah.
know, it's a nitpick. And then yeah, on the right, you could see the foreshadowing of what happened after Vietnam, and it's kind of dark, you know. And I meant to make it a little dark, but there's so double meaning in the caption. You know, there's red in your future, Wade, or should I say, Fred.
Right.
You could say
Right.
you could say there's Fred in your future, and it me
Right.
it'd be a little ominous, right? I think
It,
Chad liked that a lot. Chad liked that picture. He said something
yeah.
to me, man, that's
I
great.
think for anyone who's has any interest in comics and reading, you can try to find either trades or the omnibuses if you have digital subscriptions like Comixology, if it's still around or anything like that. Check out that classic Marvel run. Some of the best comic issues were in Joe in the 80s. Like, it was astounding. And so that brings me to like the final segment uh, of today's episode. And I'll be going back and forth between your customs, Roel's renders, and what was going on with GI Joe. But once again, this issue is like we had some really classic issues from that run.
Definitely.
And
man.
So it's like so much here, like so much of the seed of what GI Joe was and these battle hardened commandos just came from that patrol. The relationship between Stalker and Snake Eyes, and how like it was just valor between them that kept them from getting dark. Dude, well, here's the thing, man. Tony is priceless. Like, it's like I'll leave that one alone, basically. No
I painted some handguns for Justin, and he liked them. I think they came out okay.
But yeah, man, we're gonna touch on like just a fantastic issue that's going on here. Because these are people. They're not. It was not just action figures to us. Like, these were real people.
Before GI Joe,
yeah. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
No, that's it. Yeah, before GI Joe, it's like this issue 26 when I think Stalker was telling the story. It got really deep, man. It was really cool.
Yeah. Once again, not talking down to us as children. Like, it was like aged up, and like just some really intense stuff that's going on with it, because it was war. Like, these guys were in war, and I think that's part of what's tricky of updating GI Joe, because so much of the original ARAH line, just even on the action figures, have influences from Vietnam, from like the different divisions that they were in. Were they parachutists? Were they rangers? Were they in this? Were they in that? So when you're updating these figures for the classified series, you're updating an aesthetic that kind of no longer applies to soldiers in warfare. So it's like, how do you translate that to modern day? What makes sense, right? But you can still go back and read some of these stories.
Oh yeah, man. It was great. These are, man, I would love these to be storyboards for a film about this part. The whole Vietnam, or if they want to update the war and have this happen like this, man. Just live action. I'm begging for this.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a real argument for having a period GI Joe, or at least like really treat that OG-13 as the Nam Squad, as or like if you want to do Desert Storm,
make Desert
Iraq,
Storm,
Afghanistan, some of that makes sense, but just something that treats. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Oh no, yeah, upgrade it, and to have this scene to where up top they're remembering. That's what they mean to each other. They went through a lot together. So did Tommy, with Snake Eyes, and you still don't know his real name. You know what I mean? He's always been the mystery guy, and we just know a whole hell of a lot of how he was after that happened, and what happened, what to get him there. And I try to run through the history on each of the videos of these guys I did, and man, and Ray Murphy does an excellent LRRP team, and They're fantastic. Look, I
They're
want to put those
fantastic.
things in a museum.
Dude, let's just bring Ray Murphy back for the next
I
episode
know.
of
I
Terror.
gotta bring Ray. Ray, I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna meet him at Joe Fest. Ray
Awesome.
Ray got the okay from the wifey to go to Joe Fest all the way from Ireland. So I'm like, we're gonna have a pint with him. Like, oh my
Well,
god.
I know folks like yourself will make it worth his while, and please send my regards. But I just want to go back to this issue because it's incredible that basically Starker is saying, look, man, I left this dude for dead because
Insane. Yep.
That's what you would have to do. And Snake Eyes, no hard feelings. Snake Eyes would have done the same thing. It was war.
I get it. Yep. You're just lucky you had a badass ninja in training. Went back to go get him, man. And I have no doubt that that's probably some of that, happened in Vietnam. You can look up Roy Benavidez. He was a real Vietnam soldier, and he did something like this. So there's stories out there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like it's sort of like it's not just toys to us. It's like these people were real. Like the quality of the writing and the art made it real, right?
Yeah.
So I think so. Like when we have like crazy figures or something's just not right. I mean that's why, because like you're seeing like what's going on just in this issue. I recommend it highly. Hopefully Skybound will do a repaint or reprint of this issue because it's incredible. It's like going back and reading it. I had to stop myself from putting the entire issue on this presentation.
Yeah, 26 is awesome. And back in the day, I went from either 25 or 24 to 27, and I didn't get this one. And not too long ago, I looked it up and digitally, and then I bought it at one of the shows. I'm like, hell yeah, this is mine. This is one I needed to have a long time ago.
Yeah,
Tommy just running through the volleys of fire, and the helicopter crew with Stalker just laying down cover for him to come, grabbing Snake Eyes' 60 with one arm and grabbing him. Fireman carry over the top. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of there. Tommy and Snake Eyes. Crazy.
Yeah, Storm Shadow. And it's crazy they had that history, and then like it's kind of tragic when you consider what it became between them, and then how then it makes sense that Tommy Storm Shadow joins Ninja Force, ends up getting brainwashed, going back to Cobra
again. Oh yeah, great storytelling. Larry Hama's a treasure. Oh yeah, 155.
So this is the final issue. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. That's all I said. 125. I saw that on screen. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Brick something is saying, I always wondered how many kids from the 80s that liked toys actually read the comics, had access to them, how many didn't, or more focused on a cartoon or just the toys.
Exactly.
Like I loved the Sunbow cartoon growing up as a kid. And the comics always took either as a supplement or its own thing, whether it was like when they attack the pit, when there's stakes involved, when there's like real loss that Sunbow couldn't allow. I mean, even as a kid, like I understood that they're not gonna just ace 3 Joes in a pit in an episode of Sunbow, the hardest episode ever. They had to. The outcry from killing Duke was so great in test screenings that they had to remove it. But no. They killed Duke in GI Joe the movie, and that inspired the Transformers team. It was like, well, if they're killing Duke, we're killing Optimus. And then they went ahead with killing Optimus, and it was like traumatized us all. So then they had to be like, he's okay. He woke up from his coma. He didn't wake up from that shit. He took a snake to the heart.
A snake directly to the heart. Yeah. So
it was, and that's just what it was in the 80s and the 90s. We didn't have the proliferation of media, social media, and with kids, I would say if you have kids, keep them away from social media for as long as possible. Give them a book. Tell them to go outside. Right? It's like you can have family time. I have friends of mine. They do family time 30 minutes to an hour, and then that's it. Everybody puts up their devices. Like that's the way to do it. A lot of the backstory between those figures are also in this issue as well. right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, sir.
but what do you think it is about these comics that inspire tributes like this? This one's from Action Figure Junkie. We have another one. This is 3 3/4, but it's the same thing, right? So, what do you think it is about the comics that like it inspired your entire project that we saw as well? So, what is it about those comics that really bring it to life to make people do stuff like this?
Always looking for another project, looking for what I can do that is readily available with what Hasbro's already got out there that you can either paint or kit bash together and delve back into those books. I'm recollecting them now, the old school, Real American Hero um line, the comics that I mean, because I don't need them mint condition. I can get them in the little bargain basement bins and get all of them again, just to have them, and collect them and read them and just keep them. You know what I mean? Just to I didn't take good care of them when I was growing up. You know what I mean? I had trashed them, but now you can still get them again, and then there's so many stories that you can. Well, I'm gonna make my custom look like how Jinx looked in this story, or what it just tons of reference, just like Metaxas's book is a big, huge reference to
Yeah.
just go crazy, And damn, I wanted to put all their leg gear on, but talking to Johnny Cage's Customs, like, hey, they didn't have leg gear in Vietnam, So, and after knowing that and learning that, and yeah, so I like the way these came out, and it's a trip because I mean, you've got four of them with the camo bottoms, and in the book, Stalker and Snake Eyes just had the regular Army Trooper OD green, because the look teams can wear what they want. I found out from Johnny too and YouTube that the long range recon patrol guys, they could wear what they want. They could even wear enemy uniforms if they wanted to. The black pajama looking things.
Man.
They could pilfer and take weapons from whatever they wanted. What do you want? You want an AK to use? Here you go. You want the enemy's weapons to use, because you guys are going behind enemy lines, reconning and reporting back to us. So you guys get away with whatever you want to use this and use that. Here's the rules of engagement. Here's this and that. It was crazy. It was a different thing for the long range recon patrol. They were out there longer than other teams and stuff. So they got a lot of, I don't know, carte blanche in what they wanted as weapons and gear and clothes. It was pretty intense and crazy.
Man, speaking of things getting intense, the chat is very intense right now. We're talking about trauma and murking characters. But yeah, just it's strange, like how kids, like, I was fortunate enough to grow up in a neighborhood where there are a lot of lawns to take care of. So between mowing lawns and raking leaves, I was able to earn my way towards a lot of collecting.
How to do my stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but everyone agrees your figures are super dope, Tony. And we're definitely inspired by the art in these comic books. We could talk for hours. We usually do talk for hours. But once again, I always am grateful for everyone joining us here on Black Genghis Live. It's great, like really firing things up. And on the other side, going back to doing the reviews and everything else, really looking forward to that. And Tony, what else can we expect from you coming up in the future? I'm going to keep putting up your socials real quick before we head off.
Yeah, Tony's Figs. I'm putting more comic book stuff on there, more customs. Delving and after the 27th, Wade Collins will be officially the end of the long range reconnaissance patrol team that I did. So he'll be the bookend of that. And then there's still other stuff I want to do. It's so far it's been, I got to get my gridiron. I got to get Mark Von Cannon in there with this. I use all his weapons. They just look the best with my figures, I think, in my head, and I've got to have their stuff, from the pistols to the rifles to the helmets to the backpack, all that. I want them outfitted with them because they're the best in my opinion. And
All right.
I do use other ones too. And you're gonna see some Street Fighter Jada stuff. You're gonna see
Oh
more
yeah.
JLA stuff. You know, I'll have a video on them coming out of my own, more in depth of how I put them together with, you know, kit bashing and painting and all that stuff for these guys, because now they got me, you know, McFarlane's got me on this whole to where I know that they're easy to customize. I know they take paint well. I know you can make what you want to make with them. Oh man, it's another whole, but I like keeping myself back a little bit. Like, I'm not going too crazy with it. I don't like
Yeah.
every DC character, but if I do, I might do them. I might go as far as into the satellite headquarters era Justice League. I need Green Arrow, Black Canary. You know, I need those heroes that back, you know, the reservists, the other
Yeah.
ones that need to get their shine too. You know,
You're
plastic
gonna get a full unlimited Justice League Unlimited.
full limited. Well, at least figures that will complete what RB Customs did for his superpowers. That's the whole satellite era team minus the Phantom Stranger. The Phantom Stranger popped in here and there to help him on some stuff
Right.
when the satellite people, you know, Red Tornado, Firestorm, and I'm already into there, because you can get Firestorm now, you can get Red Tornado now. I got Hawkman now, so
Yeah.
all of those other guys that will, I think there's 16 members in all of
Indeed.
the satellite era. Plus, you can make Power Woman and Captain
Sure.
Marvel and I need a Robin, you know. So yeah,
And
man.
your work, but I just want to say, your work is a real argument against this. Like, people paying 100 for that Wonder Woman, people paying 70, 80 for that Hawkman. It's like,
Yeah.
do what my dude did, do what my man did here. Grab some paintbrushes, grab some paint. The worst that'll happen is you get some paint on the wrong place.
Yeah. You know it. You're a customizer too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
I get
always,
into
you can always paint over stuff. It's acrylic paint, water helps, and I hope people can still find the Winsor Newton. Yeah, see, Zatanna's in there too. I've got the whole team plus some members in the old Mattel DCUC. Those won't take off from here.
All right.
Yeah, they're behind me on the bottom. So those, man, even though there was a lot of reuse in that line, I'd not hate on it. You could do some, you know, you can get wired capes and what people do for those things, man.
Yeah. Cape Master, the Cape Master on eBay, he doesn't do 7-inch capes, right?
He might, but right now I think he might be sticking with superpowers capes and stuff, those size. But there's other people. There's GPS Slot does some.
Yeah.
Harker Customs does some. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of GPS Slot. And really quick, I'm going to just show people GPS Slot, because it's like one of my favorite stores on eBay. Costs me tons of money all the time, which is really irritating.
GPS Slot's awesome, yeah.
But if you get the chance, check out GPS Lot on eBay. Right now, I'm just going to show capes. Damaged hooded capes.
Dude.
Dr. Doom, Strange. You want McFarlane, Batwoman. You want Black Panther, Superman. Once again,
look at that! Look at that Superman one. So $20. Yeah. See, look at that. The wired cape with logo for McFarlane Hush. I might be getting that. I
gotta make sure I'm not costing you money. General Grievous. They want.
I got one of them for the DCUC one. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple. Go ahead.
Oh, a lot of them came without the S shield on the back. I'm like, that's a staple for me. I need that. He wore that all the time when I was growing up watching him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need the S. You need the S. I wish McFarlane would find a way. Yeah.
Don't go away from that.
McFarlane's find a way to put those. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, don't go away from that, McFarlane. Yeah, there's only one, the Hush one. I think the Hush one has a huge one on the back. Why is this so big? I got from GPS Lot. what I got that really fit the Shang-Chi Marvel Legends figure was his gi. He made pants and a gi to make him look like the 70s Shang-Chi, and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
he's got it. He's got it in there. There was a Ghost Rider outfit, business suits, tactical
Netflix
gear.
Daredevil. Yeah, and get hoodies.
Oh, Ghost Rider, Daredevil, all the things to dress up your dollies, guys.
Yeah, so you want that Mezco look. You can basically use a Hasbro or Mattel or even a McFarlane figure as a base and then get that Mezco look if you're willing.
Yeah, I did that for my Iron Fist too. Yep.
Yeah. So it just depends. Have fun with your toys. Going back real quick, like I got a couple of things like for an A-Team project that I'm doing. Like I got like a denim vest for Mr. T. It's going to be a lot of fun. That kind of stuff. So it just depends. Like if you're willing to go just a little bit further, you can like unlock some really cool things for your figures.
Oh yeah.
That one's a little bulky. There's better fits. There's better fits.
There's way better, tighter fits. Yeah.
So shop around. Shop around. Tony, thanks again for your time. Oh, GI Bros working on 18 too.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Sneakers for Quick Kick. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
all the best with the YouTube channel. So great to see it in full action. Man, you're putting me to shame. I gotta get up and like get some more stuff going for real.
Thanks, man. I'm trying to get it up there. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing.
Yeah, man. And for everyone else, be sure to have fun with your toys. Don't be afraid to grab the paintbrushes, and just as my man Tony would say, keep it 100.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Don't forget to check out Punk with Toys right now, Thursday with a friend. And
thank you, AJ, for having me on. Thank you, buddy. I've been waiting. I've been waiting to come on KJ show. Got to do it.
No. And it was fun too. It's fun. We'll have you back.
Yes.
And I gotta
no doubt.
Hey, next time if you start streaming, have me on, man. For real. Tag me in.
Hell yeah. Definitely.
All right, man. All right. Thanks again. Thanks everybody. Peace.